Sports Information Director Adam Heinzen, joined here today with Race Director Brian Volkman of the 8th Annual Gary's Gallop, which is coming up on Saturday, April 16th. Brian, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Adam.
Right, Brian, again, the 8th Annual Gary's Gallop coming up about a month from next week. Talk about your involvement in the race and the committee you are on to help organize this event.
Absolutely, glad to do that, Adam. It's our 8th annual Gary's Gallop. It's a race that benefits the athletic club here at Wisconsin Lutheran College. And basically our committee that helps put this race together comprises of current alum of Wisconsin Lutheran College. On my board, or on the committee, is Lisa Leffel, who is the Warrior Club Director and also Director of Alumni Relations. I also have Lewis Giles, who's an alum here of the college, played on the Warrior basketball team and involved in many other sports and coaching in previous years. Tim Siegel, who is an alum of WLC, he's new this year. I also have Mike Wilson, who has helped out as a liaison for Coach Noon as Assistant Athletic Director. He has also joined the committee the last couple of years to really help get more exposure through our advertisers and getting more of those advertisers on board. In addition to that, I've been involved since day one through the approval of Dr. Greenfield, who this is really named after, as you know, and many of our Warrior alums as well as faculty and staff here know that Gary Greenfield was the first president here on campus, had been president of Wisconsin Lutheran College for 28 years, and then died of cancer. And prior to his passing, had asked if there was an opportunity to basically create a run or a benefit that would allow us an opportunity to use his name, but also to raise funds for the athletic department. And at that time, when 9 years ago that we went to committee and actually started the race, there wasn't any athletic fields at that time. Everything was taking place either down in Menominee Valley or in the recreation complex, but we had no athletic complex like we have right now where the race is actually being held. So he kind enough gave us the opportunity to use his name, and since then working with Skip Noon and so many others here in the athletic department has allowed us to really make it what it is today.
And your committee is definitely growing, and the fact that it seems like the day after last year's race, you guys were gathering already, thinking of ideas, what new things could be added to this year's race. So definitely a lot of planning goes into a race like this.
Yeah, it really does. We do have some downtime because obviously we're all involved with so many other activities, not only here on campus, but in our own personal lives. The thing is we already know next year's date. We're one of those races now, being that it is our 8th annual. It is a successful race here in the running community in southeastern Wisconsin. It does allow us the opportunity to really kind of carve out our own little niche here in southeastern Wisconsin with the Saturday, if you will, before the Boston Marathon. That is how we have strategically positioned ourselves in the race community. So we always figure if you're not going to Boston to run the marathon, or if you haven't qualified for the marathon, come and run Gary's Gallop. And it follows and precedes other important and popular races here in Wisconsin, and as it continues to grow, more and more people learn about it and pretty much always look forward to putting it on their calendar and looking forward to the participation for that next run.
And most definitely a race that benefits all types of runners. It's the 5K run, 2-mile walk, and the kids race. So if you're not a running enthusiast, you can definitely the 2-mile walk, and then you can bring your kids to keep them busy during the race if you want to run and or walk.
Yeah, and that's a very good point, Adam. Oftentimes we've even had some of the most successful marathon runners who maybe are taking a year off, not going out to Boston. They'll come show up early at our race. We had 2 runners last year, or actually it was 2 years ago, that showed up, did a 9-mile warm-up, if you can imagine that, and then ran Gary's Gallop. But it is really, as you said, Adam, a race for all ages. For the competitive runner, and we have many WLC former athletes who are still running competitively past graduation that come back and compete. Cam and there's a few other ones out there that I know that ran competitively for Coach Steve Travis, and so they're coming back. Zach is another one that I can think of offhand, and just an opportunity to compete once again, but for Wisconsin Lutheran College, and it's an opportunity for family as well, in addition to the community that comes and supports Gary's Gallop. So mom and dad can run or push the stroller if they want to do the 2-mile walk, or you have the opportunity to watch the little ones who maybe can't quite do a 5K yet, but have an opportunity to do one lap around the track and finish with a ribbon in their hand as well for their accomplishments.
Great, and really this race wouldn't be where it's at today with the sponsors. A handful of sponsors this year. It seems to grow every year, but just seeing the advertising this year, looking at the posters, a lot of sponsors have gotten involved in this event.
And it really goes to the credit of the committee as well. I take my hat off to Mike Wilson and Lisa Leffel. They really spearhead a lot of the efforts for the race in getting out and making those contacts to various sponsors. When you start a race from scratch, which is really how this all came about, had to take a lot of time to just make those contacts, but now having somebody like Mike Wilson and being involved in the athletic department, he really adds a lot of credibility to the relationships that he's built over the years with our sponsors. Those sponsors are on board. We're also very thankful for Performance Enhancement PEP, who is part of this as well. They do a fabulous job, and Joe Hoff helps us in those regards, and he's obviously the athletic trainer here at the college. And then certainly Lisa on the back end with all the advertising and the ability to really get more and more people here on campus involved, and being able to use those resources and help promote it is very beneficial.
Great, and in the last few years, and always it seems we've had great weather for the event, and always another great day to look forward to. Again, Saturday, April 16th, it's the 8th annual Gary's Gallop, benefiting Wisconsin Lutheran College Athletics. To register, BV, why don't you tell them how someone can register for this event?
You can do it several different ways. One is you can go online, wlc.edu/Gary's Gallop is one way to do it online. There's also a link, as we're reminded here with the backdrop, wlcsports.com. You can also find the Gary's Gallop information on the Warrior website. And then also we have brochures. We did some direct mail pieces that are out there, so if somebody wants to physically fill out a form, those forms are available. We can either, you can download it off a PDF and mail that registration in with your payment, or you can also show up day of. We will allow anyone who wants to come out, if they can't quite make a decision whether or not they want to participate, but wake up on a Saturday morning on April 16th and go, you know what, I want to run this. You can certainly come out. It's $20 day of, $15 prior to. We will keep the website active through Thursday, April 14th, but then we'll basically shut down the online registration and transfer everything over to day of registration leading up to the race then.
Well, Brian, you and the committee always do a great job, and always a great event to look forward to. Again, the 8th annual Gary's Gallop, benefiting Wisconsin Lutheran College Athletics, Saturday, April 16th. Again, race director Brian Volkman, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Adam. Do appreciate it.